Silence is the workshop of greatness. It's the incubator of dreams, the crucible where potential transforms into reality. You see it in a world that's constantly shouting, that's always demanding your attention. True power lies in the ability to work diligently when no one's watching. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment, picture a seed buried deep in the soil. Does it make a sound as it pushes through the earth? Does it announce its growth to the world above? No. It works in silence, tirelessly, relentlessly, until one day it breaks through as a mighty oak tree. That's you. That's your potential. That's your destiny. But let me tell you something. This journey, this path to greatness, is not for the faint of heart. It's not for those who need constant validation, who crave the spotlight at every turn. No, this journey is for the warriors of silence, for those who understand that true power comes from within. You see, when you work hard in silence, you're not just building your skills, you're building your character. You're forging a will of iron, a spirit that can't be broken by criticism or crushed by failure. Because when you work in silence, you're not doing it for the applause. You're doing it for the resistance. Now, some of you might be thinking, but how do I stay motivated when no one sees my efforts? How do I keep pushing when there's no immediate reward? Let me tell you something. The greatest reward isn't the praise of others. It's the person you become in the process. Think about it. Every time you choose to work when others are resting, every time you push yourself just a little bit harder, you're not just improving your skills, you're expanding your capacity for greatness. You're proving to yourself that you have what it takes to succeed regardless of who's watching. And let me tell you, that kind of self-belief, that unwavering confidence in your abilities, is priceless. It's the foundation upon which all great achievements are built. But here's the thing. Working hard in silence doesn't mean you're alone. No, you're in the company of giants. Every great leader, every innovator, every game changer in history has walked this path. They've all known the power of silent dedication. Think about the Wright brothers, tinkering away in their bicycle shop, working tirelessly to achieve what many thought was impossible. Did they seek validation at every step? Did they need constant praise to fuel their efforts? No. They worked in silence, driven by inner vision, a burning desire to make the impossible possible. Now consider Thomas Edison. Do you think he announced every failed attempt at creating the light bulb? Of course not. He worked in silence, learning from each failure, refining his approach until finally he illuminated the world. You see, these individuals understood a fundamental truth. That true greatness isn't born in the spotlight, it's forged in the shadows. It's cultivated in those quiet moments of dedication, in the hours of practice that no one sees, in the relentless pursuit of excellence when no one's looking. Now, I want you to understand something crucial. Working hard in silence doesn't mean you're hiding your light. It doesn't mean you're shrinking from your potential. No, it means you're focused. It means you're dedicated. It means you understand that real growth happens in the quiet moments, away from the noise and distractions of the mind about a bodybuilder. Do they build their muscles on stage, flexing for an audience? No. They build their strength in the gym, pushing through pain and challenging their limits when no one's watching. Now, the stage is merely where they showcase the results of their silent dedication. The same principle applies to every area of life. Whether you're an entrepreneur building a business, an artist honing your craft, or a student pursuing knowledge, your greatest progress will happen in those silent moments of focused effort. But let me warn you, this path isn't easy. In a world that's obsessed with instant gratification, that's addicted to constant stimulation, choosing to work in silence can feel like swimming against the current. You'll be tempted to seek validation at every turn. You'll be tempted to announce every small victory, to seek applause for every step forward. Yes, that temptation. Embrace the power of silence. Because here's the truth. The loudest voice in the room is rarely the most powerful. True power, lasting influence, comes from depth of character, from the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you put in the work. Now, some of you might be wondering, but how do I stay motivated without external recognition? Let me tell you, motivation that comes from within is far more powerful than any external praise. When you're driven by a clear vision, by an unwavering belief in your potential, you don't need the world to cheer you on. You become your own cheerleader, your own source of motivation. And here's the beautiful thing. When you work hard in silence, when you focus on growth rather than glory, the results speak for themselves. You don't need to announce your progress to the world because your progress becomes evident in everything you make about it. Have you ever met someone who exudes confidence, who radiates competence without saying a word? That's the power of silent dedication. That's the result of countless hours of unseen effort, of relentless self-improvement. But let me be clear, working hard in silence doesn't mean you never celebrate your victories. It doesn't mean you never share your achievements. No. It means you understand the difference between seeking validation and sharing inspiration. When you work hard in silence, when you focus on growth rather than glory, your success becomes a beacon of hope for others. Your journey becomes a testament to what's possible with dedication and perseverance. You become living proof that greatness is achievable for anyone willing to put in the work. And that, my friends, is true leadership. It's not about commanding attention or demanding respect. It's about inspiring others through your actions, about lighting the way for those who come after you. Now, I want to address something important. In this age of constant connectivity, of 24/7 communication, choosing to work in silence might seem old-fashioned or even counterproductive. But let me tell you, it's more crucial now than ever before. You see, in a world that's always on, that's always demanding your attention, the ability to disconnect, to focus deeply on your work, is becoming increasingly rare. And as with anything rare, it's becoming increasingly valuable. Think about it. While others are constantly seeking external validation, while they've fragmented their attention across 1,000 different distractions, you have the opportunity to dive deep, to focus intensely on your craft, to make progress, while others are just making noise. But here's the catch. This kind of focused, silent work isn't easy. It requires discipline. It demands self-control. It calls for a level of commitment that many aren't willing to make. You'll have to learn to be comfortable with discomfort. You'll have to embrace the uncertainty that comes with working without constant feedback. You'll have to trust in your vision even when the path forward isn't clear. But let me tell you something. That discomfort, that uncertainty, that's where growth happens. That's where you discover what you're truly capable of. That's where you transform from who you are into who you're meant to be. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what if I fail? What if the silent work doesn't lead to success? Let me tell you something. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every setback, every mistake, every moment of doubt, it's all part of the journey. And here's the beautiful thing about working hard in silence. Your failures remain private. They become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. They become valuable lessons rather than public embarrassments. You see, when you're not constantly seeking validation, when you're not announcing every move you make, you give yourself the freedom to experiment, to take risks, to push your boundaries. You create a safe space for growth, a laboratory for excellence. And let me tell you, that kind of environment, that kind of mindset, it's priceless. It's the breeding ground for innovation, for breakthroughs, for the kind of success that doesn't just change your life, but changes the world. But here's something crucial you need to understand. Working hard in silence doesn't mean you're alone. It doesn't mean you're isolated. No, it means you're selective about your influences, intentional about your relationships. You see, true greatness isn't achieved in isolation. It's nurtured in the company of like-minded individuals, in the presence of those who share your vision, who understand your journey. So as you embark on this path of silent dedication, surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who push you to be better. Seek out mentors who've walked the path before you, who can guide you through the challenges ahead. But remember, Even in these relationships, the principle of working hard in silence applies. Don't seek constant validation from your peers or mentors. Instead, let your growth, your progress, your results speak for themselves. Now, I want to address something that many of you might be struggling with. In a world that often equates noise with importance, that mistakes visibility for value, choosing to work in silence can feel like you're falling behind. You might look around and see others constantly promoting themselves, always in the spotlight, and wonder if you're missing out. Let me tell you something. You're not falling behind, you're pulling ahead. While others are busy talking about what they're going to do, you're actually doing it. While they're seeking shortcuts to success, you're laying a solid foundation for lasting achievement. While they're chasing trends, you're setting trends. You see, true innovation, real progress, it doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the lab, in the workshop, in the quiet hours of focused effort. It happens when you're willing to wrestle with difficult problems, to push through challenges, to persist when others would quit. And here's the beautiful thing. When you finally do step into the spotlight, when you finally do share your work with the world, it won't be half-baked ideas or unfulfilled promises. It will be the result of countless hours of dedicated effort, of relentless refinement, of unwavering commitment to excellence. That's the power of working hard in silence. It allows you to present your best self to the world, to offer value that's been tested and refined in the crucible of silent dedication. But let me warn you, this path isn't for everyone. It requires a level of self-motivation, of inner drive that many people simply don't possess. It demands a willingness to delay gratification, to forgo immediate recognition for long-term success. If you're looking for quick wins, for instant fame, for overnight success, this isn't the path for you. But if you're willing to play the long game, if you're committed to becoming the best version of yourself, if you're dedicated to making a real, lasting impact on the world, then this is your roadmap to greatness. Now, I want you to understand something crucial. Working hard in silence doesn't mean you never celebrate your victories. It doesn't mean you never share your achievements. What it means is that you understand the difference between seeking validation and sharing inspiration. When you work hard in silence, when you focus on growth rather than glory, your success becomes a beacon of hope for others. Your journey becomes a testament to what's possible with dedication and perseverance. You become living proof that greatness is achievable for anyone willing to put in the work. And that, my friends, is true leadership. It's not about commanding attention or demanding respect. It's about inspiring others through your actions, about lighting the way for those who come after you. But here's the thing. This kind of leadership, this kind of influence, it can't be faked. It can't be manufactured. It's the natural result of consistent, dedicated effort over time. It's what happens when you commit to excellence in every aspect of your life, when you refuse to settle for mediocrity, when you push yourself to grow even when no one's watching. Now, I want to address something that many of you might be struggling with. In a world that often equates busyness with productivity, that mistakes activity for achievement, the idea of working in silence might seem counterintuitive. You might feel like you need to be constantly doing something, always in motion, always visibly productive. But let me tell you something, true productivity isn't about being busy. It's about being effective. It's not about how many hours you put in, but what you put into those hours. When you work in silence, when you create space for deep focus and concentrated effort, you tap into a level of productivity that's simply not possible in a state of constant distraction. You enter what psychologists call a flow state, where time seems to stand still and your capabilities expand to meet the challenge at hand. This is where breakthroughs happen. This is where you make those quantum leaps in skill and understanding that separate the good from the great, the successful from the truly exceptional. But here's the catch. Entering this state of deep focus, of silent productivity, it's not easy. It requires discipline. It demands that you set clear boundaries, that you protect your time and energy from the constant demands of the world. You'll have to learn to say no to distraction, to resist the urge for instant gratification, to delay the dopamine hit of checking your phone or scrolling through your feed. You'll have to become comfortable with the discomfort of focused effort, with the challenge of pushing your limits when no one's watching. But let me tell you something. The rewards are worth it. The growth you'll experience, the progress you'll make, the sense of accomplishment you'll feel, it's beyond compare. It's the difference between living a life of constant reaction and living a life of intentional creation. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what about collaboration? What about teamwork? Doesn't working in silence isolate me from others? Let me address that. Working hard in silence doesn't mean you're a lone wolf. It doesn't mean you reject collaboration or teamwork. What it means is that you understand the value of focused individual effort as part of a larger collaborative process. Think about a symphony orchestra. Each musician spends countless hours practicing alone, honing their skills in silence. But when they come together, when they combine their individual excellence, they create something truly magical. The same principle applies in any field. Whether you're part of a business team, a research group, or a creative collective, your ability to contribute effectively depends on the work you do in silence, on your commitment to personal growth and skill development. So don't think of working in silence as isolation. Think of it as preparation. Think of it as the foundation upon which effective collaboration is built. Now, I want to touch on something that's crucial for anyone committed to this path of silent dedication. The importance of self-reflection. You see, when you're not constantly seeking external validation, when you're not always looking for feedback from others, you need to develop a strong capacity for self-evaluation. This means taking regular time to step back, to assess your progress, to celebrate your victories, and to learn from your setbacks. It means being honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses, about what's working and what needs improvement. But here's the beautiful thing. This kind of self-reflection, this inner dialogue, it's not just about evaluation, it's about vision. It's about constantly refining your understanding of what you're working towards, of why you're pushing so hard, of the impact you want to make on the world. And let me tell you, this clarity of vision, this deep understanding of your purpose, it's fuel for the journey. It's what keeps you going when the path gets tough, when progress seems slow, when doubts creep in. Because make no mistake, there will be challenges. There will be moments of doubt, times when you question whether all this silent effort is worth it. There will be temptations to seek the easy path, to chase quick wins and instant gratification. In those moments, your clarity of vision becomes your North Star. Your commitment to excellence becomes your anchor. Your dedication to working hard in silence becomes your compass, guiding you back to the path of true growth and lasting achievement. Now, I want to address something that many of you might be grappling with, the fear of missing out. In a world that's constantly connected, that's always buzzing with activity, choosing to work in silence can feel like you're disconnecting from opportunities, like you're falling behind while others are racing ahead. But let me tell you something. True opportunities, real chances for growth and success, they don't come from constantly being in the know. They come from being prepared. They come from having developed the skills, the mindset, the character to seize the land. That preparation, it happens in silence. It happens in those moments of focused effort, of dedicated practice, of relentless self-improvement that no one sees. Think about it. When opportunity knocks, it's not going to ask you how many followers you have or how visible you've been. It's going to demand excellence. It's going to require competence. It's going to call for the kind of deep, substantial value that can only be created through consistent, dedicated effort. So don't fear missing out. Instead, fear being unprepared. Fear being caught off guard when your moment comes. Fear reaching for an opportunity only to find that you lack the skills, the knowledge, the character to seize it. Let that fear drive you. Let it fuel your commitment to working hard in silence, to preparing diligently for the opportunities that lie ahead. Because in this preparation, in this silent dedication, you're not just building skills, You're building character. You're forging a will vine, a spirit that can weather any storm, overcome any obstacle. Think about the greatest achievements in human history. The groundbreaking inventions, the revolutionary ideas, the world-changing movements. They didn't spring forth fully formed in the public eye. No. They were nurtured in silence, in laboratories and workshops, in quiet rooms where visionaries toiled away, undistracted by the noise of the world. This is your laboratory, your workshop, your quiet room. It's here in the silence that you'll make the discoveries that will define your life. It's here that you'll push past your limits, break through your barriers, and unlock potentials you never knew you had. But let me be clear. This journey isn't easy. It demands sacrifice. It requires you to forgo immediate pleasures for long-term gains. It calls on you to persist when others would quit, to keep pushing when the world tells you to rest. You'll face doubts. There will be days when you question whether all this silent effort is worth it. Moments when the temptation to seek validation, to cry out for recognition, will be almost overwhelming. In those moments, remember, this is not born in the spotlight. It's forged in the shadows. It's cultivated in those quiet moments of dedication, in the hours of practice that no one sees, in the relentless pursuit of excellence. Your silence is not a void. It's a crucible. A furnace where your potential is refined, where your dreams are tempered into reality. Every moment of focused effort, every hour of dedicated practice, every day of silent persistence, it's all fuel for the fire of your transformation. And make no mistake, you are transforming with every challenge you overcome in silence, with every skill you hone away from prying eyes. You're becoming more than you were. You're evolving into the person you're meant to be, the leader you're destined to become. Because that's what this journey is really about. It's not just about achieving goals or acquiring skills. It's about becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming the kind of person who can make a real lasting. This is the power of working hard in silence. It allows you to focus not just on what you can do, but on who you can be. It gives you the space to grow not just your abilities, but your character, your resilience, your integrity. These are the qualities that will sustain you long after any particular skill becomes obsolete. They're the foundation upon which true lasting success is built. And they can only be developed in the quiet moments, in the unseen hours of dedicated effort and self-reflection. So embrace the silence. Embrace the solitude. See it not as isolation, but as insulation. A barrier that protects you from distractions, that shields you from the noise and chaos of the world, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. And in this silence, you'll find clarity. You'll discover insights that are drowned out by the constant chatter of the world. You'll hear the whisper of your deepest aspirations, the call of your highest potential. But remember, this silence is not passive. It's not about retreating from the world or shirking your responsibilities. No, this is active silence, purposeful solitude. It's about creating a space where you can work with intensity, where you can pursue excellence without interruption. In this space, you're free from the judgment of others, free from the pressure to conform to expectations, free to experiment, to take risks, to push boundaries. Because true innovation, real breakthroughs, they don't happen in the comfort zone. They happen at the edges, in the unexplored territories of your potential. And here's the beautiful thing. When you work hard in silence, when you focus on growth rather than glory, the results speak for themselves. You don't need to announce your progress to the world, because your progress becomes evident in everything you do. It shows in the confidence with which you carry yourself, in the depth of your insights, in the quality of your work. People will notice not because you're telling them to, but because the change in you is undeniable. This is the kind of success that can be faked. It can't be bought or borrowed. It's earned through countless hours of unseen effort, through relentless self-improvement, through unwavering commitment to excellence. And when you finally do step into the spotlight, when you do share your work with the world, it won't be as someone seeking validation. It will be as someone offering value. Real, substantial, transformative value that can only come from deep, consistent, focused effort. This is how you become a leader in your field. Not by claiming leadership, but by embodying it. Not by demanding respect, but by commanding it through the sheer force of your competence and character. But let me warn you, this path is not for everyone. It requires a level of self-motivation, of inner drive that many people simply don't possess. It demands a willingness to delay gratification, to forego immediate recognition for long-term success. If you're looking for quick wins, for instant fame, for overnight success, but if you're willing to play the long game, if you're committed to becoming the best version of yourself, if you're dedicated to making a real, lasting impact on the world, then this is your roadmap to greatness. So I challenge you, embrace the power of silence. Commit to working hard when no one's watching. Dedicate yourself to the pursuit of excellence, not for the applause it might bring, but for the growth it will inevitably produce. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step. And often, that step is taken in silence, away from the cheering crowds and flashing lights. It's taken in a quiet moment of decision, a private commitment to excellence that only you can make that commitment today. Embrace the power of working hard in silence. Trust in the process. Believe in your potential. And watch as you transform not just your skills, but your very self. The world doesn't need more noise. It doesn't need more self-promotion or empty promises. What it needs is people of substance, people of character, people who have put in the work, who have honed their skills in the quiet hours, who have something real and valuable to offer. Be that person. Commit to the path of silent dedication. Embrace the journey of unseen growth. Because in the end, it's not about who makes the most noise. It's about who has the most to say when it truly matters. Your silence is your strength. Your solitude is your sanctuary. Your unseen efforts are the seeds of your future success. Nurture them with dedication, water them with persistence, and watch as they grow into a forest of achievement that casts a shadow far beyond what you ever thought possible. Remember, the greatest mountains are built stone by stone in silence, away from the eyes of the world. Your life, your success, your impact, they're built the same way. Moment by moment, effort by effort, in the quiet dedication of your daily disciplines. So go forth. Embrace the silence. Commit to the unseen journey of growth and transformation. And know that with every silent effort, every unseen hour of dedicated work, you're not just improving your skills, you're forging your legacy. The world may not see your efforts today, but one day it will feel their impact. And that impact will speak louder than words ever could. It will echo through time, touching lives in ways you can't even imagine right now. That's the power of working hard in silence. That's the promise of unseen dedication. That's the path to true, lasting greatness. The choice is yours. The time is now. The journey awaits. Step into the silence, embrace the solitude, and begin the unseen work of transforming yourself into the person you're meant to become. Your future self is watching. Your potential is calling. Answer it with action. Answer it with dedication. Answer it with the powerful silence of focused, determined effort. The world is waiting for what you'll create in the quiet moments. It's hungry for the value you'll bring after hours of unseen preparation. It's ready for the leader you'll become through silent, persistent growth. Don't disappoint it. Don't disappoint yourself. Embrace the power of working hard in silence. Start today. Start now. Your journey to greatness begins in this moment of quiet commitment. The rest is up to you.